Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video I am going to be solving an Olympiad level maths problem. Here it is. If x plus square root of x squared minus 1 plus 1 by x minus square root of x squared minus 1 equals 20, and x squared plus the square root of x raised to 4 minus 1 plus 1 by x squared minus the square root of x raised to 4 minus 1 equals k, then find, here we have k in a little box, and this represents the greatest integer function. It means, this basically means to find the greatest integer that is lesser than k. So let's try to solve this problem. First, let's write the first equation that's given to us. X plus square root of x squared minus 1 equals plus 1 by x minus square root of x squared minus 1 equals 20. Now, first thing you'll probably notice is that we have an expression here that is essentially the same as this except the sign that's in the middle. So these are conjugates of each other, and here this is in the denominator, so it's not that satisfying. And to make this more usable and useful to us, we can multiply the numerator and denominator by this conjugate so as to rationalize the denominator. This is equal to 20. Now x plus square root of x squared minus 1 plus the numerator we have 1 times this, which is just x plus square root of x squared minus 1. The denominator we have an expression in the form of a minus b times a plus b. This is of course equal to a squared minus b squared. Here a is x, so we have x squared minus b squared is x squared minus 1. So we have x squared minus 1 equals 20. Here, if we expand this, x squared minus x squared minus times minus plus. So here we actually have x squared minus x squared plus 1, which is just 1. So we have x plus square root of x squared minus 1 plus x plus square root of x squared minus 1. This is nothing but 2 times x plus square root of x squared minus 1 equals 20. Of course, we can divide by 20 on both sides and divide by 2. So we get x plus square root of x squared minus 1 equals 10. Now to solve for this, it will be easier if the square root term is on one side, so that we can just square both sides. So take square root of x squared minus 1 equals 10 minus x. Now I'll be rubbing the first few steps. So square root of x squared minus 1 equals 10 minus x. Now to eliminate the square root, we can simply square both sides. We are left with x squared minus 1 equals 10 minus x the whole squared. We can simply apply the a minus b the whole squared identity is equal to a squared plus b squared minus 2ab. Here if we apply that, we get 10 squared plus x squared minus 2 times 10 times x, which we can write as x squared minus 20x plus 100. If you just rearrange that. And we have x squared minus 1 equals this. You'll see that the x squared cancels out on each side. So we get minus 1 equals minus 20x plus 100. Now isolate the x term. Minus 20x equals minus 1. Add the 100 to this side. Minus 1 minus 100. So minus 20x equals minus 101. Minus cancels on both sides. X equals 101 divided by 20. And we can, I'll just leave it like that for now. So we have x equals 101 by 20. Now let's get over to the second equation. Now we know the value of x. X is nothing but 101 by 20. Now we have x squared plus all of this is equal to k. Now we know the value of x. So we simply have to plug this in. Now this is a bit tedious calculations, but it has to be done. And we can actually simplify this term similar to how we did earlier. Multiply by the conjugate times x squared plus square root of x raised to 4 minus 1. So the denominator will become x raised to 4 minus x raised to 4 plus 1 cancels, and we get 1 as a denominator. We have 1 and the numerator is nothing but this term. So we have 2 times x squared plus x raised to 4 minus 1 is equal to k. Now of course we need to find k before we can find this function of k. So this is the value of k, so we just have to do this and times it by 2. This is a tedious calculation, so 101 by 20, that will be of course 5.05, pretty sure, and so we have 5.05 the whole square plus the square root of 5. If you do the calculation, you will get 101.97, and since this value is equal to k, we can put that k is equal to 101.97. Now let's get to what the greatest integer function of k would be. This box denotes the GIF, or the greatest integer function. And what it means is, whatever input you give it, it'll give out the integer that is lesser than k, but is the greatest integer lesser than that number. So if, for example, 1.5, it'll output the value 1, because 1 is an integer and it's the greatest possible integer less than 1.5. And if you have 1.9, greatest integer function will give out 1, like so, like that. And in this case, of course, the closest integer to this is 102, but the greatest integer less than 101.97 is 101. That is our answer. And so I hope you enjoyed this problem. It was, at first, seemed difficult, but once you know the method and really how to solve it, it's not that hard. And I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.